Hello, and welcome to Relax and Learn English. I'm so happy you're here today. Before we begin, I want you to take a slow, deep breath. Inhale gently and slowly breathe out. Now, let me ask you something. Have you ever spent hours thinking about one small mistake? Have you ever replayed the same conversation over and over in your mind, wondering if you said the wrong thing? Have you ever worried so much about tomorrow that you couldn't fully enjoy today? If your answer is yes, you're not alone. Millions of people overthink every single day. They think about the past, they worry about the future, and they forget to live in the present. The good news is that overthinking is not something you are born with forever. It is simply a habit of the mind, and every habit can be changed. Today, while you improve your English, let's also learn how to quiet our minds, reduce stress, and enjoy life a little more. Imagine your mind as a beautiful blue sky. Your thoughts are like clouds. Some clouds are light and peaceful, while others are dark and heavy. The problem begins when we believe every single thought that enters our mind. We treat every worry as if it were a fact. We imagine problems that don't even exist yet. We create stories about the future, and most of those stories never become real. Think about the last time you worried about something. Maybe it was an exam, a job interview, an important message, or meeting someone new. You probably imagined many different outcomes. Maybe you thought everything would go wrong. But how many of those terrible things actually happened? Probably very few, or maybe none at all. Our minds are incredibly creative, but sometimes they use that creativity in the wrong direction. Instead of imagining wonderful possibilities, we imagine disasters. Instead of expecting good things, we prepare ourselves for disappointment. But life rarely follows the scary stories our minds create. One of the biggest reasons we overthink is because we want control. We want to know exactly what will happen tomorrow, next week, or even next year. We want every answer before asking the question. But life doesn't work that way. Life is full of uncertainty, and that's not always a bad thing. Imagine watching your favorite movie when you already know every single scene before it begins. It wouldn't be exciting anymore. The same is true for life. Some of its greatest moments happen because we don't know what's coming next. Another reason we overthink is because we confuse thinking with solving. We believe that if we keep thinking long enough, we'll eventually find the perfect answer. But there is a big difference between solving a problem and endlessly repeating the same thoughts. Imagine sitting in a rocking chair. You're moving all the time, but you're not actually going anywhere. That's exactly what overthinking feels like. Your mind is busy, but you're not making progress. The solution is not to think more. Sometimes the solution is to think less and take action instead. Let's imagine a simple situation. You send a message to a friend, and after several hours, they still haven't replied. An overthinking mind immediately begins creating stories. Maybe they're angry with me. Maybe I said something wrong. Maybe they don't want to be my friend anymore. But the truth is much simpler. Maybe they're working. Maybe their phone battery died. Maybe they're sleeping. We usually choose the most negative explanation even when we have no evidence. This habit steals our peace without giving us any real answers. Learning to stop overthinking begins with asking yourself one powerful question. Is this a fact, or is it only a story my mind is creating? That simple question can completely change your perspective. Most worries disappear when we realize they are based on imagination instead of reality. Another helpful habit is learning to return your attention to the present moment. Right now, as you're listening to my voice, notice your breathing. Feel the chair beneath you. Listen carefully to the sounds around you. In this exact moment, are you safe? Most likely, the answer is yes. The present moment is usually much calmer than the future we imagine. Our minds travel into tomorrow searching for problems, while our bodies remain here today, waiting for us to notice the peace that already exists. There is an old saying that says, "Worrying is like paying interest on a debt you may never." Oh, think about that for a moment. Every time we worry about something that hasn't happened, we are spending today's energy on tomorrow's imaginary problems. We lose today's happiness because of yesterday's memories and tomorrow's fears. But life only happens today. Today is where your family is. Today is where your friends are. Today is where your dreams begin. If your mind is always living somewhere else, you'll miss the beauty that's right in front of you. Many successful people have learned that peace doesn't come from controlling everything. Peace comes from accepting that not everything can be controlled. You cannot control what other people think about you. You cannot control every situation. You cannot predict every outcome. But you can control how you respond. You can choose kindness instead of fear. You can choose action instead of endless thinking. And little by little, those small choices begin to transform your life. Imagine a man standing at the edge of a lake. The water is perfectly calm until he throws a stone into it. The circles begin to spread across the surface. Overthinking is like throwing hundreds of stones into the lake of your mind every single day. Even when life is peaceful, your thoughts create waves that make everything look uncertain. But what happens when you stop throwing stones? Slowly, the water becomes calm again. Your mind works exactly the same way. Peace is not something you have to create. It is already inside you. You simply need to stop disturbing it with endless, unnecessary thoughts. One of the easiest ways to reduce overthinking is by taking action. Action is the greatest enemy of fear. Think about learning to ride a bicycle. You could spend months reading books about balance, watching videos, and imagining every possible accident. But the only way to truly learn is by getting on the bicycle and trying. The same is true in life. We often wait until we feel completely confident before taking the first step. But confidence doesn't come before action. Confidence comes because of action. Every small step teaches your brain that you are capable. Every challenge you overcome becomes proof that you are stronger than your fears. Another important lesson is understanding that perfection does not exist. Many people overthink because they want to make the perfect decision. They spend weeks comparing every option, afraid of making a mistake. But the truth is that almost every successful person has made countless mistakes. The difference is that they didn't allow those mistakes to stop them. They learned, adapted, and continued moving forward. Imagine an artist painting on a blank canvas. If they spend all day worrying about making the perfect first brushstroke, the painting will never exist. Sometimes an imperfect beginning is far better than waiting forever for a perfect one. Overthinking also steals joy from beautiful moments. Have you ever been on vacation but found yourself worrying about work? Or spent time with your family while thinking about problems that hadn't even happened yet? Your body was present, but your mind was somewhere else. Life is happening now, not inside tomorrow's imaginary conversations. Every sunset, every smile, every laugh with someone you love exists only in the present moment. The more you practice returning your attention to today, the more peaceful your life becomes. A simple habit that can help is asking yourself, will this matter 1 year from now? Many of the things we worry about today will be completely forgotten in a few months. The embarrassing moment you can't stop thinking about. Most people probably don't even remember it. The small mistake you made. Everyone else is too busy thinking about their own lives to focus on yours. We often believe people are judging us much more than they actually are. In reality, most people are simply trying to solve their own problems. This realization can be incredibly freeing. Another beautiful way to quiet the mind is through gratitude. Every evening, before you go to sleep, Think of 3 good things that happened during your day. They don't have to be big. Maybe someone smiled at you. Maybe you enjoyed a delicious meal. Maybe you watched a beautiful sunset or listened to your favorite song. When you train your brain to notice the good, it slowly stops searching only for danger. Your mind becomes a place of balance instead of fear. Remember, your thoughts are powerful, but they are not always true. Just because your mind says something doesn't mean you have to believe it. Sometimes your mind is simply trying to protect you, but it becomes overprotective and creates problems that don't exist. Learning to smile at those thoughts instead of fighting them is one of the greatest forms of freedom. You are not your worries. You are not your fears. You are the person observing those thoughts. And that means you have the power to let them pass like clouds across the sky. Every morning is a new opportunity to begin again. You don't need a perfect life to have a peaceful mind. You simply need to stop giving every negative thought so much attention. Your energy is precious. Your time is precious. Don't spend them fighting imaginary battles. Spend them building the life you've always wanted. One decision at a time. One breath at a time. One peaceful moment at a time. And one day, you'll look back and realize that the person who used to overthink everything has become someone who trusts life a little more, smiles a little more, and enjoys each day a little more. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Relax and Learn English, and share it with someone who might need these words today. Thank you so much for listening. Keep learning, keep growing. And remember that every new day is another chance to choose peace instead of worry. Take care, and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.